Hi, I'm Phil Grande, philsgang.com. Listen to what Fisher said, the former Fed governor.
We front-loaded at the Federal Reserve an enormous rally in order to accomplish a wealth effect.
That's right. Did you hear that? They took the stock market, front-loaded it, ran it 200%, so we ended up not only with a fake stock market, but fake GDP, fake money, fake jobs, fake prices, fake everything. But we took advantage of that, and we're going to take advantage again. That's why I told my gang in May to short the market on 5/29. That's May 29th. I'm telling you to short the stock market. And we were right. And the market went down over 11%. That's why you got to join my gang and learn how to short stocks just as much as buying them. Learn how to short with me, Phil Grande at philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264. There is only one talk show host, Phil Grande, who delivers both social and financial talk. Not even Hannity or Rush can deliver a 1-2 punch like that. That's Phil Grande, philsgang.com. Phil Grande is unique, the industry leader, the first talk show host ever to combine social issues and finance into winning stock market ideas. That's Phil Grande, philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. You know, it's been 7 years now since Obama ordered his Fed chairman to lower the savings rate from 5% to less than 0.25%. With the false narrative, it would spur economic growth and jobs. Everyone would have an opportunity in this economy. That's what he said. But what it spurred was a front-loading of the biggest fake, unsustainable stock market rally of 200%. That's what it spurred. Now, most people did not participate in that rally, because people got out of their 401k in 2009. And they said, just get me out. I want nothing but fixed income. And they got killed, because with low interest rates, fixed incomes get murdered. You got to know what you're doing. If you're going to really retire, you got to be associated with the stock market. That's why you come to philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264. What is Phil's Gang? Philsgang.com is a subscription website service that host Phil Grande has been teaching and providing daily stock investment recommendations for over 15 years, all in the name of making its customers educated investors and helping the kids at St. Jude's Children's Hospital. If you want to take charge of your financial future, then do not wait any longer. For only $49.95, become a Phil's Gang member today. Go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. Everybody was asking me, how did I know to short Ford when it was November? And it was when Aunt B was telling us everything was fine. Well, what people didn't know is Aunt B was lying to us, because when she was raising the rates, machinery sales were down 5.6%, computers were down 8.7%, communication equipment sales down 21%. I took a look at our chart and I saw that institutions were pulling money out of Ford. So we said, let's short Ford. And we did that in November, on November 10th, because my charts told me there was a big sell signal, and we took advantage of it. And you know that stock Ford has now dropped 17%. That's the return my gang has now, 17%. Don't follow any of the jibber-jabber from CNBC or the Fed. Follow me, philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
At St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, families never receive a bill for treatment, travel, housing, or food, because the only thing a family should worry about is helping their child live.
Doctors send us the toughest cases to be treated at St. Jude, and our patients come from all over the world.
When we come here, they told me, don't worry, everything's being taken care of.
We could never repay St. Jude for what they've given us.
Because of you.
Gracias a ti.
Because of you.
There is St. Jude.
They just told us right away that we're going to house you, we're going to feed you, and every single one of his medical bills is just all taken care of.
Saber que el tratamiento es completamente gratis nos quita una preocupación de encima.
We have phenomenal research, outstanding clinical care, and the generosity of public, which allow us to treat patients regardless of what it takes. And that's what makes St. Jude so magical.
At St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, families never receive a bill for treatment, travel, housing, or food because the only thing a family should worry about is helping their child live.
Doctors send us the toughest cases to be treated at St. Jude, and our patients come from all over the world.
When we come here, they told me, don't worry, everything will be taken care of.
We could never repay St. Jude for what they've given us.
Because of you.
Gracias a ti.
Because of you.
There is St. Jude.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande, philsgang.com. I'm here to help you. I'm tired, and you should be tired, of listening to these financial shows like CNBC where they're all geniuses and they're always wrong. Look, stop worrying about the price to book and the price to sales and all the stuff they tell you think you need to know. You don't need to know any of that. Anybody can make money in the stock market using charts. It's about money flow. Join my gang, philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264. The stocks discussed on Phil's Gang are not in any way a recommendation or solicitation to buy, sell, or hold. If considering acting on information presented, we first recommend you seek out a competent, licensed professional for advice. Get ready for the radio show that tells you what Wall Street doesn't want you to know.
Oh, I'm a money magnet. Money coming to me. Money sets me free. I'm a money magnet. Money's coming to me.
It's your daily dose of how to manage your money. And now it's time for Phil's Gang on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. With your host, Phil Grande.
Morning economists aren't expecting the huge gains that we had in December to show up in today's ADP report and Friday's non-farm payrolls number. Forecasts call for the economy to add 190,000 private payrolls in January. On Friday, look for the U.S. to add 185,000 new jobs in January, following a whopping 292,000 in the previous month. The unemployment rate is expected to hold steady at 5%.
5%. You know what they don't tell you about the 5%? The unemployment rate at 5%, going back to 2007 when we were at 5%, we had 23 million people on food stamps at 5% in 2007. That's right. We're at 5% now in 2016, and we got 45 million people on food stamps. So what's that tell you? These people continue to lie to you. That's what they continue to do. They keep giving us false information. We're going to talk about that today and a lot more. My name is Phil Grande at philsgang.com, and welcome to Phil's Gang, coast to coast around the country and the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. What a day this has been. We've had wide swings in the stock market. That's called volatility. That is good because that's when you can make money. Volatility. And by the way, this market this morning, Dudley, who is one of the Fed members. Remember, the Federal Reserve has these governors, and there's 11 of them, and they're all around the country, so they can each report to the chairwoman what each sector of the economy is doing. So he came out this morning, and he's saying how bad things are, and the dollar, of course, just tanked, because he kept saying if things get worse, if this economy gets worse, it's going to be because of the strong dollar. And he's saying that this economy, the dollar's been so strong, this it's going to drop. The economy's going to get worse. Well, it's been getting worse. So the market dropped big time, about 200 points. And then she turns around, and then they take the dollar and they force it back up this afternoon. And then the market goes up 184. So we have almost a 400-point turnaround in this market. Incredible what they do. And that's why you can't follow fundamentals of a stock market. You can't follow fundamentals of a company. It makes no sense. If you're sitting here watching markets going up and down 200, up 200, you think, what's going on? It's crazy. And that's why I always use charts, and that's why we follow money. Because if you follow money, you follow big institutions, they know what's going on. They know what's going on. And so it sets a trend on your chart. So it's a smoothing mechanism, so you don't have to go crazy watching this stuff. It's so helpful, and it's so good. But anyways, let's get to the market. Right now, as I say, the market's now up over 206 points. The banks are leading the way. Just check, make sure they're still leading the way. And yeah, the banks came off their low today, but the market's going to. Remember on Friday this happened. We were hitting that all-time low on Friday. Remember they came in on Friday. The market was falling apart, and they came up with that trick to convince Japan to do negative rates. Remember, and we had that big rally at the end of the day to get off that bottom of January, one of the worst Januaries we ever had. I said to my students this morning, and we're going to try to find the cut that was in my class. I said, you watch what happens today. I said, they're going to bring somebody in from the Fed. They're going to create some kind of story to try to get this market, the stock market, right off its lows again. Right off the lows again. And exactly what happened. Dudley comes in and starts creating this story. What else we got going on in the market? We're now up 222 points, and that means that you're going to have to sell into the market before it goes back down. So the worst thing to do right now is to start jumping in and start buying, just like what happened on Friday. Remember Friday? Everybody jumped right back in the market. They're saying, oh, this is it. Oil's not going to go any lower. The economy's really going to get much better. Everybody jumped in and look what happened. Not only when we came back on Monday, the market dropped, it dropped again on Tuesday, yesterday, and it dropped severely today. So now they're trying to hold this market at this point. It can't hold. This market cannot hold here. You know, it's what we're seeing is a flight to safety. We're seeing investors. They're selling their stocks and they're going to bonds. And the market's going to continue to go lower. We are in a market crash, but crashes just don't get up anymore and it just goes down 3,000 points. It doesn't work that way. This market crash started in May, and I told you that. I was the first one that came out on May 29th. I said, remember this date. That Phil Grande said this was the start of the crash. And since that date, when I told my gang members to short the stock market, the market went down 14%. And we are on the correct side of that, 14%. So we were fine because we were shorting the market. You've got to learn how to short the market. I say this every day to you. So, again, we're seeing a flight to safety. What's that mean? Investors are selling stocks. They're buying bonds. The worst thing they could be doing. Instead, they should be shorting the market. It's unbelievable. Why do you go to bonds? It makes no sense. Here's another thing. Listen to this.
What breaks the lockstep of the S&P and oil? Earnings season, okay, if that's a catalyst to try and do, you got 71% of companies above expectations. What breaks us out of that stranglehold between the stock market and crude?
I honestly don't know. I mean, I think that the volatility is going to continue, and I expected that from the beginning of the year. If oil continued to be volatile, then so would the market. What I'm trying to do as a longer-term investor is look at earnings season and those companies that either benefit from the lower oil prices, and we are starting to see pockets of the consumer.
So here's what she said. She was asked, well, when is this oil going to disconnect from the market? When is this correlation going to? I don't know. What do you mean you don't know? Well, that's it, man. Of course you know. When we start getting some truth in this market. When people finally figure out it's not the consumer. You know, I love it. I love it when they tell us how the consumer, it's all about the consumer. And how the consumer, they always say, you know how the jibber jabbers, the jibber jabbers you hear on the business press? All these jibber jabbers, like CNBC, the big lie. The consumer spending accounts for 70% of our economic growth. That's not true. Everybody believes that because these jibber jabbers on these business shows have been saying it for years. The 70% that consumer spending accounts for 70% of our economic growth. That is not true. It sounds good. It's a way for them to cover their mistakes. It's a way for them to lie and say, okay, this is a bad number, that's a bad number, but the consumer is still strong, so we're okay. That's why they do it. That is not true. That is not true. The consumer spending doesn't account for 70% of our economic growth. Not at all. It just masks bad news. Now, the problem is the business press, the majority, they have no clue what they're talking about. Most of these guys you see on CNBC, what they're doing is they're reading cue cards. And that's why for years they just keep repeating the same thing over and over. They're a bunch of cue card readers. They're teleprompters. So they use consumers to mask the truth. That's what they're doing. So if you take a look, it's amazing. If you take a look at Steve Leisman on CNBC, who continues to reassure us that America economy is very healthy, thanks to solid consumer spending that accounts for 70% of our economic growth. Really? That's not true. We're going to take a look at that when we get back, and some stocks. 15 past the hour on Phil's Gang.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. Now, we know that stocks go up, but they also go down. We applaud when they go down. Why? Because they go down much faster than they go up. But we've been told for years, do not short stocks because it's dangerous. That's a bunch of nonsense. They tell you that because they don't want you selling your stock because your managers get paid on the size of the fund. And if you sell your stock short, the fund goes down and they make less money. Don't believe it. You got to learn how to sell stock short because we are always in a bubble. And when we get on the backside of the bubble, you got to learn how to make money selling short so you can retire. I'm going to introduce you to shorting. It's going to be 1 to 3 p.m., February 13th. It's only $70, and it's archived for 2 weeks in case you can't make it. It's going to be one of the best things you ever learned. Sign up now, philsgang.com, for my live shorting webinar.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com, and I have a special invitation for you. That's right. Saturday, February 13th, I'm going to extend to 85 people, the first 85 people, to attend my live shorting webinar. That's February 13th, 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. Eastern. And if you can't make it, it's archived for 2 weeks. It's only going to be $70. And this is where you're going to learn how to sell stocks short. So you can make money as stocks go down, as stock markets sell off. You need to know how to sell short. So attend my live shorting webinar. That's Saturday, February 13th, 1 to 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Only $70. That's it, $70. And you're going to learn how to short. And as I said, if you can't make it, it's archived for 2 weeks. And the 2 weeks is terrific because you can keep looking at it with your family. It's a great opportunity. Again, only $70. philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. You know, many people left the stock market after the crash, and here's why.
Responsibility begins and ends with our partners and our shareholders, and that's it.
And that's still going on. That's your planner. They don't represent you. They represent themselves, your money manager. But you have to make a change. You can't change them. You make the change. Join my gang, philsgang.com, so that we can take care of you. philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. We're hitting a new year, and you should, at the same time, come in with a new attitude, a new philosophy that you're going to make money when the stock market goes down. That's right. This is the third bubble, and you don't think it's going to crash? The first bubble did. The dot-com, the second bubble, the housing and financial con. Why do you think the third bubble, which is twice as big as the two previous, is any different? It's not different. Matter of fact, it's worse. It's going to go down faster. The stock market is going to go down 50%. You're going to lose 50% of the money you have in the stock market. You're going to lose 45% of the equity you have in your home. You're going to lose 30% of the money you have in your savings. Yes, you are. Trust me. Join my gang, Phil's Gang, so that we can show you how to benefit, how to profit. But you can't just sit there and own a stock. You got to learn how to short the market. Join my gang. Learn how to short. philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande of philsgang.com. You know, everybody, the hot stocks Apple or Google, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. What people don't understand is every stock is the same. If the institutions buy it, it goes up. If they don't, it goes down. It doesn't matter the name. That's why we use charts to identify money in, money out. Join my gang, philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Hi, my name is Phil Grande at philsgang.com. I'm going to tell you something about your 401k that you don't know. You know the 401k is a tax code? That's what it is. Here's how it worked. In the 80s, you had pension funds, but they decided to give their CEOs a benefit on top of the pension. It was called 401k. That was to shelter their income. That way they could keep the CEOs because it was very competitive. But when all the jobs were shipped overseas, they no longer could keep pension funds. Too expensive. So they shifted all their employees to a 401k, duping you, thinking it was a good deal. But what they did is they charged hidden fees, which amount to about $250 billion a day, that they gave to lobbyists to go to Washington to make sure that this 401k would never be transparent. Here's what came of it.
Responsibility begins and ends with our partners and our shareholders, and that's it.
That's right. So join my gang, philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264. Anybody who puts money in my pocket is my friend, and Phil Grande can do the same for you. Learn how to grow and invest your money. Here's Phil Grande.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande of philsgang.com. I want to extend an invitation to 85 people. That's right, the first 85 people can come to my live shorting webinar. I'm going to hold it on February 13th, 1 to 3 p.m. It's only $70, and it's archived for 2 weeks in case you can't make it. Learn how to sell short. Sign up now for my live shorting webinar, February 13th. See you on the chart.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
And welcome back to Phil's Gang. That's correct. I'm going to give my first live shorting webinar. I haven't done one in over a year. This is a great opportunity. I'm going to extend to 85 people an invitation. You don't have to be a gang member. It's not just for gang members, for anybody. But we're going to limit it to 85 folks. I think this would be a great opportunity for you to learn that you can make money when the market goes down. You have an option. How many of you just sit there and lose money when markets go down and you panic and you keep calling your broker? What can we do? Look, think of common sense. If you have $10,000 or $100,000 or $1 million and you're trying to accumulate money and put it away for your retirement, how much longer will it take you to accumulate if you're only allowed to buy stocks? That'd be like a boxer going to a ring with one arm tied behind his back. That'd be like your car having no reverse, just drive. It's ridiculous. If you're going to give somebody money to manage, you want them to be able to take advantage when the market goes down. You should be making money on the way down. But the whole system on Wall Street is designed against you. Because the system on Wall Street is designed where they make money on the amount of money they're managing. When you see them go on CNBC and they'll introduce it, he manages the welfare fund. It's a $3 billion fund. Well, what good is that? It's a $3 billion fund. He gets paid on the $3 billion. So if $1 billion comes out because they want to short, they're upset because they don't make as much money. They don't get paid on how much money they make for you in returns. They don't work for you in your 401k or anything on Wall Street. So I'm not telling you to get rid of your 401k. I know you won't do that. But at least you got an opportunity. And for 2 hours, and you can do this from the comfort of your home. If you can't make it, it's going to be archived for 2 weeks. And the reason why I'm archiving is so you can keep looking at this thing, get your kids to look at this thing, and learn that you can make money so easily by just shorting. It's not hard. So you can either call and get information, 855-745-7445 right now. That's 855-745-7445. Or, I'm sorry, 877-600-GANG, wrong number, 877-600-GANG. Or you can just go to my website and you can sign up. It's $70. And as I say, it's archived for 2 weeks. So it's limited to 85 people. All right. let's get back to what's going on in the market here. We've been seeing the stock market drop 14% since May. When I told my gang we're going to short the market, I said May 29th, record this date. Then the market's been going down because we have a false economy. We have a false economy. Everybody knows that. People today are starting to go to bonds, and you're seeing bond yields go down. And bond yields is like a stoplight. When bond yields go down, it's saying, the bond market's always correct. It's saying to everybody in stocks, listen to me. Listen to me. Hey, look at the yellow light. Look, the yields are going down on a 10-year treasury. It means that the confidence and economic growth is diminishing quickly. So think of it as a stoplight, and when you see yields go down, you know that they're always right. The bond market's always right. It's never wrong, saying the economy is getting worse. The economy, our economic growth, we have no economic growth. Well, that's true. Because in 2015, the fourth quarter GDP came in 0.7%. They revised it to 0.5%. The end of 2014 to the end of 2015 was so anemic, it was at 1.8%. So think of the bond market right now. They're sending you a message. The economy is getting worse. This is why you want to know how to short. Think about this. Even though these same banks, the jibber jabbers, these bankers who come on CNBC and the jibber jabbers on CNBC, they say to you, hey, low oil price is a great thing. Then they told you low oil prices would add about 0.7 of a percentage point to the economic growth of GDP. It didn't happen. Instead of adding, 0.3% was shaved off. They're wrong. See, the bond market's always right, and that's what you're going to learn at my webinar, and then how to set yourself up so when the market goes down, you can sell short. So easy. And again, it's time for someone to tell the truth, to challenge these people on CNBC, where they say consumer spending is 70% of our activity, economic activity, when it's not. Consumer spending is the effect, not the cause of good productivity or a good healthy economy. Listen to what I'm saying. Consumer spending is the effect, is not the cause of a good economic economy or good productivity. In reality, consumption represents only 30% of our economy, with business investment represents over 50%, but they don't tell you that for a reason, because they want to cover all the bad news with saying, oh, look at that's bad news, but it's okay because consumers are strong. And that's how they cover it. It's amazing. Every time we get bad news, bad numbers come in, fundamental numbers come in, economic numbers come in, they always cover it by saying, oh, but look, consumer spending is strong. That's how they lie to you. It's amazing, isn't it? So remember that. In reality, consumption doesn't represent 70% of our economy, 30%. Well, business investment represents 50%. That's the key. See, investment is the mainstay of our economy, and higher savings rates is associated with a greater economic growth and investment spending. They don't want you to know that. Come to my webinar, February 13th, 1 to 3 p.m. It's archived for 2 weeks if you can't make it. We'll be right back after this break.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. Now, we know that stocks go up, but they also go down. We applaud when they go down. Why? Because they go down much faster than they go up. But we've been told for years, do not short stocks because it's dangerous. That's a bunch of nonsense. They tell you that because they don't want you selling your stock, because your managers get paid on the size of the fund. And if you sell your stock short, the fund goes down and they make less money. Don't believe it. You got to learn how to sell stock short, because we are always in a bubble. And when we get on the backside of the bubble, you got to learn how to make money selling short so you can retire I'm going to introduce you to shorting. It's going to be 1 to 3 p.m., February 13th. It's only $70, and it's archived for 2 weeks in case you can't make it. It's going to be one of the best things you ever learned. Sign up now, philsgang.com, for my live shorting webinar.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. Do you ever notice they always tell you to buy, but they never tell you to sell? They never tell you to sell. Well, I'm going to help you. I'm going to help you understand. When you buy a stock, and if all you do is buy, and you never sell short to make money where they're going down, you have to be so good. That means you got to buy the companies that are always going up. Nobody's that good. Nobody could possibly be that good. You got to make money just like you make money when you buy a stock. You got to make money when a stock goes down. That's how you even the playing field. That's how professionals make money. They make money going up and make money going down, but they don't tell you that. They just want you to try to make money going up. They don't want you to make money going down because they make that money on you. Join my gang, Phil's Gang. Learn how to short stocks at philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. Do you ever notice they always tell you to buy, but they never tell you to sell? They never tell you to sell. Well, I'm going to help you. I'm going to help you understand. When you buy a stock, and if all you do is buy, and you never sell short to make money where they're going down, you have to be so good. That means you got to buy the companies that are always going up. Nobody's that good. Nobody could possibly be that good. You got to make money just like you make money when you buy a stock. You got to make money when a stock goes down. That's how you even the playing field. That's how professionals make money. They make money going up and make money going down, but they don't tell you that. They just want you to try to make money going up. They don't want you to make money going down because they make that money on you. Join my gang, Phil's Gang. Learn how to short stocks at philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande of philsgang.com. I want to extend an invitation to 85 people. That's right, the first 85 people can come to my live shorting webinar. I'm going to hold it on February 13th, 1 to 3 p.m. It's only $70, and it's archived for 2 weeks in case you can't make it. Learn how to sell short. Sign up now for my live shorting webinar, February 13th. See you on the chart.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Hi, my name is Phil Grande at philsgang.com. You know we're going to have not only a stock market crash in 2016, but a housing crash in 2016. Don't you like how they tell us the housing's in recovery and the market's in recovery and the economy's in recovery when it's not? It's in a bubble. Take housing. They loaned to a Wall Street firm called Blackstone. $7 billion. They buy 41,000 houses to go rent. Are you nuts? When they can't collect the rents anymore, those houses are going on the market and going to depress the real estate business by 30 or 40%. It's the same thing with stocks. They loan people money 600% more than they ever did before to buy stocks. That's all debt. And when the market goes down, they're going to have to dump those stocks to pay back that debt. And boy, will the market drop. Join my gang. Learn how to short. philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Be sure to watch the Phil's Gang Show with Phil Grande, weekdays at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on various devices like smartphones, tablets, your computer, and more. Get free access to the Phil's Gang Show right in your hands at home or on the go. Simply go to philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com and click on the Listen Live link. And we'll see you on the charts.
Anybody who puts money in my pocket is my friend. And Phil Grande can do the same for you. Learn how to grow and invest your money. Here's Phil Grande.
And welcome back to Phil's Gang. We're talking about shorting. I'm trying to get you, after 15 years, I know many of you have been listening to me for years on your radio station here, and you still haven't done it. You've stayed with your 401k. You still sit back when the market crashes, and you call your managers say, what should we do? Please, you don't have to do that. I'm not saying get rid of your 401k. At least if you know when the market's going to start going down, you can see it on a chart, you can do something. And there's no reason that you can't learn with a little technique, just short it, make money when it goes down. Now, I'll give you an example. By using charts, this is what I was able to do today. And this, I'm going to give you this cut. This is absolutely true. This is from my class this morning. It was at 9, it was around 10 o'clock, 9:30, quarter 10. I said this morning, I said, look, this market's been dropping. I said, everybody's going over into bonds because the bond market's absolutely correct. The economy is getting terrible. Don't listen to CNBC or all these people that come on. Just like I'm telling you, don't listen to these people that say consumer spending accounts for 70% of our economic growth. That too is a lie. They give you that to cover all the bad economic numbers. I'm going to explain more on that in a minute, but this is important. Listen to what I said this morning. The market, they're going to try to run the market today. They're going to turn this market positive today is what they're going to do. Okay, they're not going to let this break today. Okay, right here, not going to let it break. All right, but we have the momentum on our side. Let them play another game. They'll probably bring in some guys from the Fed to say to say something. She's going to do something to try to get. Remember what she did last time, Friday, right here. She got Japan to do a negative interest rate. They're going to do it anyways. Nobody knows that, but they were. And I mean, she never told anybody. Everybody's so surprised. They've been talking about doing a negative interest rate in Japan for 3 months now. So all of a sudden, Friday they did it. It's a big shock. What the hell? So I told them, I said, look, they're going to do the same thing today. And I could tell from the chart. And they did. They did exactly what I said they're going to do. How did I know that? Because you can tell that from a little bit of charting experience, what's going on. So going back to, if you go and look, and I'll bring you back, and this is from shorting with my gang, and if this doesn't convince you to take a lesson, I don't know what will. GM and Ford. Yesterday, they started to talk about GM and Ford on CNBC. Yesterday, they started saying, oh, you better get out of GM and Ford, not performing well. Listen, this was yesterday.
General Motors probably looks the best on a chart, and Ford is really scary because you're going back to 2011 levels. They're an eye shot of that.
So either talking about Ford and GM and you know how bad they're looking. Wait a minute. Yesterday was February 2nd, 2016. Here's what we did using our chart, and this was November 10th. I said, let's short Ford. And we shorted it at $14.23, Ford. And right now, Ford, we have about, I think it's about a 19% profit on Ford. GM, December 17th, I said, let's short it. It was at $34. Today, it's $29. So that's about another, I think that's about another 12%, something like that, or more than that. So 13%. We also shorted. Ford was 19%. GM was 14%. Rig, we said let's short that. That was 37%. These are all going back to November. And then we also had at that time, we said let's do the same thing with Intel. 17% now. That was December. Schlumberger, November. We're still short, 23%. Goldman Sachs, November. We said let's short it. It's 21%. Still going down. IBM on January 5th. I said let's short it. It's 13%. So I want to be able to show you that you can do the same thing. So for 2 hours from Saturday, February 13th, and it's archived, so if you can't make it, you've got to learn how to do this. And you don't have to be a gang member. So we're going to take 85 people, limit to 85 people. So please sign up if you really want to learn the opposite side of the market, because you need to. Now, going on with consumer spending, how this whole big lie that consumer spending accounts for 70% of our economic growth, and why it's a lie. It's a big lie. Let's go back to, it was around November. Industrial production fell by about 0.6% in November. And all our three major industrial sectors, manufacturing, mining, utilities, our three biggest sectors, fell off a cliff. Fell off a cliff. And if you go back and for the previous 12 months, the wheels were coming off our industrial production. This is all going on now. Consumption, same thing. Consumption was terrible. So what happens? So while all this was happening, manufacturing, mining, utilities are all falling off a cliff, and our industrial production falling off a cliff, and Steve Leisman comes on and says, to reinsure us, he says, the American economy is very healthy thanks to consumer spending. It accounts for 70% of our economic growth. See, this is what they always use. Healthy? 45 million people on food stamps, Steve? The last time we had 5% unemployment rate, 2007, was 26 million. Healthy? Auto loans. That's the strongest part of our economy. It's the worst part of our economy. But that's what they use. And everybody, you hear everybody say that, don't you? And it's just not true. See, it's investment. That's what it is. It's investment first. It's investment. See, consumer spending is an effect, but it's not the cause. It's not the cause. In reality, consumption, as I say, represents 30% of the economy, but business investment is the 50%. Now, and it's the mainstay of our economy. And the high savings rates is associated with greater economic growth and investment spending. You got to have savings first, then you got to have the spending before consumers can consume. And it's business spending on capital goods and new technology, entrepreneurship. That's what's significant. It's much more significant than consumer spending when it comes to sustaining the economy and sustaining our higher standard of living. But that's the problem. We don't have a higher standard of living. We're not consuming it because guess what? We don't have investment. We don't have investment in new technology or entrepreneurship. We don't. When you invest money into a business, it creates jobs for the consumer who spends. Without the investment first, there is no jobs for the consumer. That means there would be little money for them to spend. And that's exactly the problem today. We have lack of meaningful jobs. And why our economic growth is anemic. 0.5% last quarter. It's unbelievable. Remember, the better our jobs, the better our standard of living, but we don't get better jobs until you have somebody save money, take the savings, loan it, invest it. Who the hell is saying consumption? Isn't that ridiculous to say that it's consumption, it's not investment? This is great. Bottom line, it's savings first, then investment, not consumption. Investment is capital goods, business, entrepreneurship, productivity, and from that investment, that to say that it counts for, that's what counts for 70% of our economic activity. But our consumer spending is not strong. It's terrible because people don't have good jobs. So that's why the market keeps going down. That's why you got to. If you're going to get caught like you did with the dot-com, you're going to sit back and lose your money again, and you're going to lose your money again with this QE con. I've been telling you since May this was happening. So learn how to short. Go to my site, philsgang.com, or call. It's only $70. It's 2 hours. And it's archived for 2 weeks. We'll be right back.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com, and I have a special invitation for you. That's right. Saturday, February 13th, I'm going to extend to 85 people, the first 85 people, to attend my live shorting webinar. That's February 13th, 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. Eastern. And if you can't make it, it's archived for 2 weeks. It's only going to be $70. And this is where you're going to learn how to sell stocks short. So you can make money as stocks go down, as stock markets sell off. You need to know how to sell short. So attend my live shorting webinar. That's Saturday, February 13th, 1 to 3 p.m. Eastern Time, only $70. That's it, $70, and you're going to learn how to short. And as I said, if you can't make it, it's archived for 2 weeks. And the 2 weeks is terrific because you can keep looking at it, share it with your family. It's a great opportunity. Again, only $70. philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
AMVA, and I've lost over 30K on it, but it had excellent earnings the last several quarters. They make the cameras and drone equipment. I don't know why it's so weak these days.
It's so weak these days because you don't pay attention to what they make. You don't care about their earnings. The problem is the institutions are pulling their money out, and that's all you need to know, and that's what we identify in the chart, and that's why I become a Phil's Gang member.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
We're on our best 2-year job creation streak in 20 years.
What are you, nuts? Who'd believe that? Let me tell you the truth. First of all, the 292,000 jobs we got in December 2015, and they told us the unemployment rate is 5%. Not true. You can't trust these people on Wall Street. You can't trust the press. What they don't count is, in December, for example, the 615,000 discouraged workers. A discouraged worker is a person unemployed, gave up looking for work, but this administration does not count them as unemployed when calculating a 5% unemployment rate. Instead, they classify the discouraged as marginally attached to the labor force, but they're not considered part of the labor force or part of the unemployment. That's why you can't trust what they tell you. If we back into 625,000, the real unemployment rate is 12%, not 5%. That's why you got to join my gang, where you get the truth and where we use charts. Join the gang, philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264. There is only one talk show host, Phil Grande, who delivers both social and financial talk. Not even Hannity or Rush can deliver a 1-2 punch like that. That's Phil Grande, philsgang.com. Phil Grande is unique, the industry leader, the first talk show host ever to combine social issues and finance into winning stock market ideas. That's Phil Grande, philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com.
Hi, my name is Phil Grande at philsgang.com. The 401k big lie. They tell you invest $10,000 a year for 30 years, compounded at 6% annually, you will have a grand total of $245,000 to retire. That is not true. That is not the truth. What they don't tell you is the hidden fees. There's 27 hidden fees in your 401k. When you're all done, you lose half of what you put aside for your retirement. That's right, half. And another thing, you're not allowed to do individual stocks in a mutual fund. And you're not allowed to make money when stocks go down. That's ridiculous. Would you buy a car with just forward and no reverse? Why would you ever be in a fund that you can't make money when the stock market goes down? Join my gang, philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264. Put your money to work. Make your investments pay. Listen to Phil Grande and philsgang.com. Now, here's Phil.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande of philsgang.com. I want to extend an invitation to 85 people. That's right, the first 85 people can come to my live shorting webinar. I'm going to hold it on February 13th, 1 to 3 p.m. It's only $70, and it's archived for 2 weeks in case you can't make it. Learn how to sell short. Sign up now for my live shorting webinar, February 13th. See you on the chart.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
And if you have any questions, you can call now. Okay, 877-600-GANG, and Steve's there. He'll talk to you, and Denise, and they'll get you organized. The market now, okay, again, they had this big rally this afternoon, and now they're selling into it again. Look, the market's going to continue to go lower. And they'll continue to use as an excuse, oh, the consumer is solid. He's solid. That's all you ever hear on CNBC, how he's solid. How he's solid. The consumer is not solid because they don't have good jobs. What's been really keeping this economy alive, this fake economy, is low finance rates. That's keeping American spending going. That's the auto sales. That's the easy credit, easy spending. That's the auto sales. That's your student loans. Those two sectors are what's keeping up our economy. Those two terrible sectors are keeping our economy alive. People don't realize that. But they're told, no, it's you, the consumer, just keeping the economy alive. Even though you don't have any more overtime, even though your full-time job went to a part-time job. Just look at the stocks. Look at why is GM going down 14%? Why is Ford going down 19%? And we are able to catch those going down 14 and 19% just with a simple little chart, and you'll learn how to do that. If you never become a gang member, and by the way, you don't have to be a gang member to come to my webinar. You don't have to. Even if you just have this, understand the technique, so you have your 401k, and at least you'll know in advance if you got a lot of money in your 401k or your mutual fund. You'll know. You'll say, "Oh my God, look what's going on here. This market is ready to collapse." How many people ever knew that the bond market is like a stoplight? The bond market tells you the truth. Not Steve Leisman, not CNBC, not Maria Bartiromo. It is the bond market will always be truthful and tell you when the economy is collapsing. They always tell you. And when you see the bond rate, that's why, just so simple. Take you 2 minutes in the morning. See what the bond rate is. Just put it on your computer and just track it. When the bond yield goes down, the 10-year yield goes down, that means the economy is getting worse. But you're not going to hear it. You're always going to hear the economy is really strong. Look at, thanks to how healthy the consumer is. Are you kidding? Auto loans, the strongest area of consumer spending. Can you believe that? That's holding up our economy? And what they're doing is now they're giving 10-year auto loans. 10 years. The average car is about 28, 30 grand. Say 30 grand. And they're still, these cars, they're still selling them. They're selling them with credit scores at as low as 475. Interest rates at 1.8%. They stretch the years to 10 years. The 10 years now accounts for 45% of all auto sales now. But here's what you got to understand. They're not concerned about making profits from financing. That's why they give them free loans and free, bring a goat and you can have the car with no money down. Bring a horse, I'll give you the car with no money. If he's dead, drag him over here and you can have the car no money down. They only want to move autos. They want to move inventory. Detroit is producing all this inventory, and you and I are subsidizing it, especially, and they're producing all this inventory. And when it gets to the car dealerships, they got to get that inventory out the yard. They don't care who they sell it to. They don't care because they can sell that paper. You come in, you've never made a payment, your credit score shows you're always late, your credit cards, you're always late, you'll get a car loan because they sell the paper. They'll sell the paper to J.P. Morgan, Goldman Sachs, Citigroup, and they'll get that paper and they'll sell it again. And then they'll get the government to back it. And when one of these banks or one of these finances starts going down because of all the bad paper, who's going to pick it up? You and I are going to pick it up. That's why they don't care if they sell it to people who don't have good credit. They don't care. So to make money on this, we started to short Ford. Now, here's another thing. We've had a great couple of days with gold. AU. Now think about this. When everybody else was dumping on gold, say, don't get into gold. Gold's no good. No, gold's no good. And I'll show you this on Saturday. Not this Saturday, week from Saturday. It's on the 13th. I'll show you. We got into gold. AU is a symbol. And I said to my gang, I said, look, we got to start buying gold. And we're going to start buying oil when nobody else wants it. And on December 3rd, we bought gold AU at $7. Do you know it's up 34%, that stock AU? That's right. But now, here's the important thing. We sold it short. That's right. We also sold it short. We had a sell signal on selling it short, and I'll give you the sell signal. Because, see, both ways. You can nail it both ways. We had a sell signal It was right here. It was on, I think it was right around October 20, the very end of October, and it was around around $8.52, and it dropped all the way down to $6. And so that's 29% gain. So let's just say 15%, because not all my gang members get in the exact same time. So let's say 15%. But here's the thing. You made money when it went down as well as going up. That's the key. If I could just shake you and get you to understand that. Why are you always trying to make money just on the way up? I understand markets go up 70% of the time. But boy, when they go down, they go down fast. They go down 10 times as fast. And when the economy collapsed, you've been through it. You've been through it, the dot-coms. You've been through it, the housing con. Now we're in the QE-con. And now the market's breaking. And the bond market's telling the truth. Telling the truth. Then you have Tiffany. Take Tiffany. Here's another one. One of the best retail stocks on this earth. Tiffany. The wealthy always goes to Tiffany. We had a sell signal on Tiffany. And I'm going to show you this when you come to the webinar. And you could have been part of the sell signal. We had a sell signal on this on December 3rd. It was around $78. Today, it's $62. That's a 20% drop. So you would have gotten that 20%, or let's say you got in late, 10%. Now, doesn't that make sense? So let's say you were in Tiffany and you made money on the way up. Let's say you made 5%, 8% on the way up. Wouldn't it be nice instead of keep giving that money back that you make money now on the way down? See, that's the problem. You keep getting the money back. You keep getting frustrated with the stock market. Say, I hate the stock market. It doesn't work. No, you're working the stock market wrong. Why? Because you're being lied to. Just like when they say the American economy, oh, it's consumption. 70% of our economic growth is consumption. No, it's not. I want everybody to think about that. What a stupid statement that is. All right. So you go open up a store. You stand there. You rented a store. You just rented it, but you didn't go and order any inventory. You didn't order any machinery. You didn't order any goods. You didn't order display cases. Nothing. You just got a 4 walls empty store. You rented it. You're paying $2,000 a month. Now you're sitting there. Okay. So wait a minute. Consumers drive growth. They should be coming in, shouldn't they? How come they're not coming in your store? If consumers drive economic growth, why aren't they coming in? Because you forgot something. What comes first? They're not going to come in your store if there's nothing in there. But if you go to the bank and you get a loan and then you invest in inventory, you invest in a sign that says, I'm open, I sell ties, they'll come in. I sell the best tie in the world. So you borrowed money to borrow inventory, to buy inventory. You borrowed money. You invested in your inventory. You invested in your store. You invested in advertising. So you got the best ties in the world. Now the consumer comes in. So it was your investment that made the consumer come in, right? But what are we told every day? Oh, no. That's because they can cover their lies. Look. Join my gang. You don't have to be a gang member to come to our webinar on the 13th of February. You don't have to be a gang member. Sign up, the first 85 people, and it's going to be archived for 2 weeks. Join my gang, too, if you want.
You have been listening to Phil's Gang with your host, Phil Grande, on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Remember to visit Phil's website at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or call the office, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
It's up to me.